Welcome to Language Surfers Podcast, a space with fresh waves for the mind, dedicated to create a platform where professionals from both language industry and academia can share their professional experiences, and where we also explore different career paths at different stages. Welcome to a new episode of the Language Surfers Podcast. My guest for today is Laura Tundra, and I'm really honored to have her here as a guest. To tell you a bit about Laura, I would just like to mention that she's a full-time working mom and wife. She was born in Alba Iulia in Romania. She currently works as a language expert in terminology, systems, and processes at the Global Language Management Department from the headquarters of the Mercedes-Benz in Stuttgart, Germany. Laura also has a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Norwegian languages from the Bolyai University in Romania and a Master of Art in Management and Marketing of Logistics Operations from the Spiru Haret, also another university in Romania. So thank you so much, Laura, for joining. I'm really glad and honored to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to be among the first guests of your podcast, of your passion. If my voice is trembling and startling, excuse me, it's because I'm really nervous. It's my first podcast, and I'm really trying to do my best.
Yeah,
It's really a really pleasure for me to be your guest today.
thank you so much, Laura. And as mentioned, I really appreciate. And I know I also have. I'm a bit nervous every time I have to record an interview because I know it's about the unique story of every guest. So it's all about us, each of one of us individually.
Indeed.
So thank you for the time to share with us your professional career because I think it's a really inspiring one. So just to tell the audience a bit that you and I were colleagues at a bachelor's degree. We studied both at the same university in Cluj, Napoca, in Babes University. Laura studied English Norwegian and I studied English Spanish. So ever since we've been in contact and we followed each other's professional journey. But that's why I wanted to bring you as a guest because I think your story is also so inspiring.
Thank
So,
you.
Laura, if you're ready, let's start with the beginning. First of all, we would like to know and share with the audience how and why you decided to study languages.
Thank you for the nice introduction. It sounds so fancy what I've accomplished so far. So I will try to give some more details about my adventure until this point. So my language adventure started back in the days when I was in primary school. As you know, in Romania, it's standard to start at the younger age with a second language. So in my case, I studied French, and in the sixth grade, I studied English. I started studying English, and that was for me the triggering point when I realized that you can accomplish so much more when you can speak with other people, and even if it has another nationality, sorry. And English is still among one of the languages where it's easy to access, it's easy to learn in my case, and to be able to access many people around you. I only knew in that time that I want to see the world, that I want to speak as many languages as I want to, and English was for me the starting point. But somehow the teachers from the primary school and the high school has shared their passion with languages, and somehow this passion came also my passion. I don't think that I realized that in that point, but um, after the years, I could already see their advices, their words towards me, and that this really shaped my future, my beginnings in the language adventure. Um, so at the end of at the age of 18, when I finished high school, I was speaking Romanian, yeah, mother language. French, English. I was doing very good in writing in Latin as I represented my home county for 2 consecutive years. Uh, for Latin languages. So I already had, and I wished with the Latin language to study also the base of the Roman languages, and this has helped me through the years also to learn. In many a few years later, also to learn Spanish very very fast. I did not know that I wanted, I mean, I knew that I want to study languages and to do a job, to work in languages, but I did not know exactly what kind of job I would like to do, because in the early of 2000, I think the language idea was still a blur, and we were not so many people that had interested in learning languages, but I did not picture myself in a specific job, but I knew I want to be there, you know. And I still remember my mom words. She was saying to me, you will die of hunger with your languages. You should focus, you should go to a path like mine, she said, for example, in finances, because this is the future. And I say, okay, that was your path, but I see myself on another path. Yeah. So at the end, I had her approval, let's say, you know, and her guidance, and she said, okay, if this is what you want, then I will try to support you and help you spread your wings. Yeah. So yeah, I studied English in Norwegian in Bolyai University, where I met you, and a lot of our colleagues who are all over the world now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did also in the parallel the pedagogical course, while I was thinking, okay, maybe my task in this world is to be a teacher and to teach the kids this passion that I have for languages, you know. But somehow I say, okay, maybe this is not for me, so I had to refocus, and that I could still use my languages but refocus somehow. And that's why after my bachelor, I started a master degree in logistics, logistic and management of marketing operations. So I was doing it on the free time, because I also started working my first job in Romania in end of 2008. And yeah, I worked as a logistic planner, so I was still using my languages, but in an automotive company, you know. So it was like I switched the industry. I was still somehow linked to the languages, to my passion, but somehow to another area, you know. And it was fine in that moment, because I say, okay, maybe I will never work in languages, but I could still use my language skills to make the world a better place, you know, to bring my input to the world, you know. And yeah, I could say after I finish school, after 13 years, I am in my dream job now, languages.
So basically, you started your professional career with logistics, right?
Yes,
Even though you were still passionate about languages, you even traveled from one country to another. You currently live in
I currently
Germany.
live in
Yeah,
Germany.
so
After 2 years working in logistics, let's say in Romania, I was recommended. I was, let's say, pushed out from Romania, and yeah, I was 25 years old, and I left my mom, my family, my friends, and Romania behind. Um, Middle of 2010, and I moved to Germany. Yeah,
yeah, so definitely languages. Even though you were not working in language service provider type of company, but languages have shaped your not only professional but personal life, right? By moving from one country to another. And as you well mentioned, that you are now in your dream job, because what I understand, and even from the presentation, so you have a lot of expertise in processes in logistics. And now in your current role, you basically add on top of that the terminology, the linguistic part.
exactly, exactly. So through the years, if we have the time, I can go also
Hmm.
more insight, more detail of what I've done, all the projects that I've done. But I could say that in before I started this job, in the 13 years, let's say, short summarize, I lived in Spain, I lived in Germany, I lived in Mexico. I had a lot of business trips. I I worked in logistics. I was a logistic manager. I was a European buyer for transports and non-productive materials like forklifts and scanners and packaging. I was also a international logistics expert, so I was doing a lot of projects internationally. So a lot of traveling now. Meanwhile, I got married. I had two kids. So a lot of things have happened in between these 13 years. But all of the jobs that I had internally within the companies that I worked to, 7 years and a half, I was in a automotive company, international automotive company, and since 2016, I'm by Mercedes-Benz Group. All these have shaped me and brought me to the point that I am now. So I have, I also studied, I also had a job in IT. So I have a lot of, I have also some IT in the background that is helping me right now in my job. So IT, logistics, everything as all that I gathered as knowledge from the last years, I have it with me as a baggage, and my expertise has recommended me through the years. And yeah, I'm doing this since tomorrow. I will have 1 year anniversary at the
Wow,
language.
congratulations.
Thank you. Global Language Management in Mercedes-Benz Group AG. And yeah, I'm proud to say that I'm one of the around 45 people around the globe that we are responsible for languages in the Mercedes-Benz Group AG.
Yeah, that sounds really like a really nice job. And I like the fact that about your professional career that you always gain more and more expertise. But when we refer to switching industries, it's not like, okay, I worked in this logistics type of industry and then I leave it aside. You try to find a way to, add on top of them and combine everything that you've learned.
Balance them. So not
Exactly.
to make a connection.
Yeah, and also you kept this automotive aspect in your professional career because you're something that I suppose you're already a specialist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. It was a life changing, let's say, idea. Like I say, okay, should I work in automotive? Like this is bold, because women in automotive, 2008, that was like, I remember I had in the logistic department. Indeed, there were a lot of women, like the field has opened for women, but in the other departments you could not see a woman, and now this had changed, and women in power, let's say. And
Hmm.
um, um, I'm happy to be part of it, and to see that the world has changed and has welcomed us as women also as a knowing part, because we are also smart. And it is also for me a really a challenge every day to prove myself as a woman out there in the automotive world. But I'm happy that I still receive good feedbacks from my colleagues, from my management, and looks like I'm doing a really good job. And I'm happy to be here where I am.
Yeah, that's so great to hear. And
Um,
it's definitely important to feel valued at work, to get feedback, to improve, and also to keep up the great work, right? Because in the end, we're spending a lot of time at our jobs. So we
exactly.
should better have a job that we really enjoy.
Exactly. So I have a lot of projects that I work on now in this moment. So when I just read my job title, language expert and terminology systems and processes, like wow, that looks really fancy, But at the end, it's a really hard work in the background. And if you want, I could say some things that I'm doing right now. And from one side is I'm still thrilled that some of the knowledge that I we learn in the university, that at that point we're like, why should we learn this? Like that, this makes no sense. I will never use it in my life, And now I'm speaking terminology and semantics and the meaning of words, and I'm like, who am I? Like, okay, this is still in my head, and it's nice to see that the knowledge is still there. So yes, I'm happy to do my dream job. Let's say I really feel that I'm in my dream job now. So I really see myself
Yeah.
aging in this
Yeah,
department.
that's great to hear. And yeah, definitely from here, we encourage everyone to find a job that they really enjoy and work in an environment that they can learn, grow, and, put in practice all their knowledge and expertise.
Exactly, exactly. So
And would you be able to share some details of your daily job? I mean, as a terminology expert and also related to systems processes at what you
yes.
do currently at
So
Mercedes-Benz?
we have I have a lot of projects in the loop, and one of the main words for us in this moment is prioritize. So we have a lot of tasks, we have a lot of topics that come to us. But for example, the last 2 weeks we focused only on one topic. We did some small things on the side, but main focus was on we prepared we made the documentation. We made we are preparing for a tender. We are choosing for next year a new supplier for terminology and quality, and that means we had uh, to make in writing a detailed description what this new supplier has to do. So we had to cover every little stone that this actual supplier is doing. um, we change also a little bit of our strategies, okay, how we would like to do in the future. Maybe this is a chance to improve our processes, yeah. So all the workflows that we have, we had to put it on paper, and this was not an easy job. So I'm working hand in hand with two colleagues. One is French, was one is American, and we are all three adopted by Germany, and we speak in German, yeah. So German is not our native language, so but we all speak in German in the meetings, you know. And it was a little bit overwhelming, but we managed it. So we managed to finish at a good point the task. So, for example, I am also the contact person for around 25 countries. I mean, I have a responsible for country who is doing a translation for us. And to explain a little bit, the process is that there are departments from the whole group, yeah, that comes to us and say, I would like to have a new word invented for seat. I don't like the word seat anymore. I want to have a new word, yeah. So there are companies that are suppliers that are doing like searching and say, okay, what could what could we replace the seat, the word seat, and then this proposal comes to us with an English and a German description. It comes automatically via the our system. Yeah, so we are also responsible that the system is working smoothly. Yeah, that he receives the information that is needed for us, and then this information, like this new supplier, for example, is coordinating and checking if this word, this new proposal word, is used in other circumstances, if there are legal rights, that a lot of claims, if this word already exists in our dictionary. So it's a lot of research in the background, yeah. And then when everything is done and say, okay, this word is okay, and we don't think that there will be other issues in the other languages, then we will give this word for translations. And
And
then
here, sorry to interrupt, here, would you also consider the cultural aspect when you talk about terminology?
exactly, because for example, if a word for us means, let's say we had like now a scenario, like for example, we have the word massage, you know, like I think everybody everybody knows what massage means, you know. And we want to implement this in our cards, you know, in the visual displays, you know. In Japanese, this word massage means a medical device. So cultural aspect, we need to take this into account. So for Japan, we need to find another word because massage is not correct, you know. So there are a lot of things that you have to look for, and there are things that are slipping through the process because we are only human. We are not able to see or to check everything, you know. Also our supplier, and then we receive the claims from our customers. I mean, for example, the countries that have the service books, the display in the cars, the programs in the productions or whatever, and they see, oh, okay, this word is not translated correctly, and then we receive the claims, and then we try to correct it in the system. We correct it in the system in the dictionaries, and then we have to correct everything that it was printed out. So it's a lot of things that we have to do in the background. Yeah, so we are trying to continue improving our process and our system, that our system works smoothly, that the quality of the new translation is giving as good, as better as it can be. So we will so we could reduce the claims, for example. Yeah, so my role as a contact person for the lands is like, we have like a designated responsible for each land, for each country, and they have 3 weeks time to translate the word. If a definition is also needed to be translated, then they will receive an extra time. um, and once we receive the feedback from all the countries, then this new term will go into the official dictionary from Mercedes-Benz Group. Yeah. So this is, let's say, the workflow for the main words. Yeah. So this is only one part of my job. Um, I am also part of the editorial team for our documentation platform. So everything, all the departments, also the suppliers, the translators that do the translations for us can access our platform and have a look. For example, if there are rules in a different country, like Arabic language, they have some rules like how you need to write. Um, for example, Norwegian, Swedish, there are this word like, you have this o with double points, this in the dictionary, which is not in the English dictionary, let's say. So you have to replace it with oe. There are different rules in every languages, and this is also every time documented by us and updated always in our documentation platform. And the suppliers that who are doing the translation can all the time connect to this platform and look if the change has changed, if the rules have changed or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, that's really nice to know how you manage internally this.
exactly. We said we have this knowledge, and in order we it was like a continuous improvement from their side, because the system was already, the platform was already there when I came last year. But for them it was a really an improvement in the process, because you were avoiding to receive thousands of emails every day, because then the people could access on their own this information. Yeah, so I'm part of this editorial team. We are three girls doing this. I'm also an author, so I'm also writing documentation for the processes and the system that I work on, and the changes, if there are changes are coming up in the flows. Now we are preparing for this project. We are preparing to switch the platform, because we will not receive. The contract ends at the end of this year, so we will switch to a new platform with January 2024. So we are also in the test. We will start soon the testing part of the new platform. We need to write again the description of what we need that this platform
Mhm.
should have. So a lot of preparations before the testing phase, and then we have the migration and then retesting of the go live platform, let's say. So this is also one project that I'm into. I am also responsible. I received this small project from the manager that hired me. Let's say she was the pioneer of the language department in Mercedes-Benz. She built it up more than 20 years ago, and she hired me, and she switched the teams, and she gave her baby to me. And this is a Wikipedia for languages, and that means we have in this moment only 10 languages in the documentation platform, where you can find interesting things about that language, for Greece, for
Mhm.
Romanian, or whatever. So traditions, if we have plants in the companies in Romania, for example, a little bit of history. So uh, the idea is that when I will have the time, or if I should have the time as soon as possible, is to update with more languages. So this is a small project. Also has my attention, and I want to do it. So people who are accessing also our platform can also have a look. Let me see what is interesting in Romania.
Yeah.
Something like that. What I'm doing a new app with one of my colleagues from the IT side, let's say, because it's terminology and IT, I could say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, IT has followed me. I worked also in IT for almost 6 years, IT logistics. So me and my colleague, we are building, let's say, so, or we are trying to build a new app for which
Mm-hmm.
is called Corp Transcribe, where we would like to upload audio files, and in the next sprint we would like to do also video files, and we would be able to transcribe them, yeah, in a text file. So actually, in this moment, all the transcribed sessions, the transcribed files, the audio files, video files, are done externally,
Mm-hmm.
which is cost us a lot of money. So that's why we came with this idea. So I think we will bring some savings to the company, and hopefully we will be live in the Q4 from 2023. So this year I'm in the testing phase with four providers, European providers, due to data security. And yes, I'm really thrilled that it's moving forward, this small project. And yeah, at the end of the year we will have it live. So a lot of people are waiting for it. So it also has a lot of pre from our side. Um, what do I do more? I do. Me and my colleagues, we take care of the corporate dictionaries. Like I said, that all the new terminology that are coming to us via the workflows, terminology workflow, are translated, and yes, they need to land somewhere. So they land in our corporate dictionaries, the corporate dictionaries, and among them we have also a lot of them. I mean, there are also a lot of dictionaries that are obsolete now. They are no more used. So one of my other projects is have a look what is no more used, what can we save from this dictionary, and to delete them, to
Mm-hmm.
actually delete them, because if nobody used them, or the words are obsolete, or if there are older words, then maybe we can put them in another dictionary. And I mean, we have now, I guess, more than 100 dictionaries, and with different categories, and we would like to make it smaller, bundler, for us.
Unify them.
And it will be also easier, because the translators who are doing the translations for us, the suppliers, they can also access these
Mm-hmm.
areas. And you have there, like, the synonyms. You don't We are trying to stop to have doubles, doubles written plural, singular, or something like that. For example, we have a word, like, in a word it's written the genus, the definition, similar words, in which dictionary you can find this word. But also we say, not you, nicht zugelassene Benennungen, for example, not, I'm trying to translate into English. So words that you cannot use them anymore. Now, so just to give the hint to the suppliers, to the translators, don't use this word anymore, because it's not more no more use in our company. You should use the new form, let's say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of things in the background, and it's I work with a lot of people. So it's sometimes in the morning I start at 6 a.m. Because I need to speak with the China colleagues, or with
Mm.
Taiwan colleagues, and then sometimes I have to stay late because I need to speak with Mexico and Brazil. And our difference, and at the end, my task is to have everybody happy, yeah. Let's say,
And coordinate everyone, right?
to coordinate everyone so they could achieve this translation in this three weeks window, so that the complete workflow will not be postponed.
Yeah, and now that definitely your day doesn't look like a boring one. You have a lot of projects on your plate and interesting ones. But now that you've mentioned the time zone differences with your colleagues or clients with whom you have to coordinate, and knowing that you also have two small kids, I just wanted to ask you, how do you balance your professional life with your motherhood, with having two small kids?
Well, it's not easy. I should say it's not easy, and for me it was one point because, for example, in the other company that I worked to, I had a lot of I had a lot of travels, and I was gone a lot. Maybe I was going on Monday and coming on Fridays, and only for two days and a half at home. So I think at one point it was like I was already married. I got married end of 2014, and 2015 was a chaotic year. In that year I also lived 3 years in Mexico. And I said, okay, I need to somehow find the balance. I mean, it
Hmm.
was okay when I was single, but somehow I need to reduce it. I mean, there has to be a job like where you are normal and you go for a few hours at the office and come back at home at the end of the day. So yeah, in 2016 at the beginning, we moved, me and my husband, we moved from Frankfurt area, we moved to Stuttgart because I had the first job, first gig, and Mercedes-Benz trucks prototype in that time. So for 1 year I was at trucks. um, and it got the things a little bit smoother, but it was just the two of us. Then I remained pregnant, and then the schedule got a little bit more chaotic. um, I stayed half a year at home with my boy, with my first baby, and then we started working because it was the new job at Mercedes-Benz, and I really wanted to put my fingerprint on that position, where I also stayed 5 years, until my second baby came. But it's not easy. It has its challenges. Uh, and it was also hard for me because it's only me and my husband here living in Germany. We don't have the help. Yeah,
For the
we are.
grandparents.
Yeah, so I have to thank my husband for that because he it was also not hard. It was a hard process because we were also somehow at the end of the day like, the house is not clean, or we did not do the shopping. We What do we eat today, or like small things, But at the end,
Hmm.
like, it's okay. We need to stop. We need to calm down, So somehow, within the process, within the first baby, we found a balance, and we say it's okay sometimes that the house is not clean and it's the living room full of toys. They can wait in the second day and it will be again there. uh, but and now the kids are bigger. Yeah, like it's a 5 years gap between them, and this is a little bit more difficult because the boy, he had yesterday birthday. He's 6 years now. He's 6 years old now, sorry. He has also extra activities after daycare, and someone has to drive him there, stay with him, come back. The other one has to stay at home, cook dinner, play with the baby girl. So some days are overwhelming. Sometimes we feel that we don't have the time for each other, because we are knockout after we put the babies to sleep. But somehow I think we found the balance. We found the balance to that is good for us. Maybe one day we need more sleep. Okay, today we sleep. Tomorrow we can watch TV. Uh, and I really have to thank him because even if I know that sometimes it's hard for him to say, okay, maybe 2 days in a row to come on, I have more meetings. Please do. I wanted to cut the grass in the garden. Say, oh yeah, I know. Like, there are small things now,
Yeah.
and also unscheduled things that can happen. Um, for example, my son has now the almost a fracture in the leg, so he's 1 week at home. So the whole schedule got chaotic. No more birthday party organization, no more visits, and
Oh.
somehow you need to adjust on what life brings you.
Hmm.
We make plans because I'm a plan addict. I can say for myself, I'm a plan addict, and I stress a little bit when I see that my plan does not go how I plan it, let's say.
Yeah,
But I learned to go with the flow
with the
somehow.
flow. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's very good that you found a balance between the
It's
two of you. It's a shared
important.
responsibility also having
Exactly.
kids, right? It's not only
It's
on the
important to find
mom or.
it's important to find the balance between us as a couple, us with the kids, and also us as working parents.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. And I would also want to touch one point with you because your professional career seems so nice, and the switches from one particular industry to another or role into another role seems so natural and just adding up. Is there a turning moment in your professional career um, that really had an impact, and how were you able to tackle it?
Uh, for me, the triggering point was so after the 2 years in Romania, like I
Hmm.
said, somebody view saw me in Romania and said, "Okay, you have a talent, and I would like to recommend you for a trainee program in project management. We need more women figures. I told you women figure in
Hmm.
automotive. So I was somehow one of the pioneers in the trainee management in this program that company was offering to the young talents, as they was calling it. And after 2 years, I moved from Romania and I came to Germany. After 3 days, they said to me, "Oh, you have to move to Spain. There you will
Wow.
have the first project." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know Spain. I don't know Spanish. Sorry." And I was like, "I don't know Spanish. How I will be able to speak with the people, And I had like a translator with me. The logistic manager was coming with me when he had the time to explain me and to show me to the people. And at one point I was walking alone within the company and I was like, how can I speak with the people? I don't know Spanish, And I just bought a book and I started reading it, and one in 1 month I was speaking Spanish, So the Latin in
Yeah.
the previous years, the 5 years of Latin has really helped me for this. But that was the triggering point for me where I say I'm in a complete new world, because if you come in Germany, if you speak English, I don't think that people have any issue with that. But if you go to Spain and somehow people are, I don't know, was for me in my case, like people were expecting for you to speak their language. I don't know how it was in your case, but this is how I felt it in that moment. And I somehow saw that the people are putting a wall in front of me because I had I did not know Spanish. They like, okay, barrier language. So once I I knew Spanish, I was able to communicate with them. Then I saw that the barrier came closely as rapidly down, and I got their approval. And then they were open also to my ideas, even if I was 25 years old. They were still open to my ideas and say, okay, we could work on it. And that was for me um, a point when I say, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm all alone. I don't have anybody to speak at the end of the day, to speak Romanian at the end of the day, to feel a little bit more at home. Uh,
Hmm.
nobody understands me. I don't know how I can make myself heard, so that people can respect me. But I showed everybody that I'm willing to learn. I'm open to the communication. I respected them all, and at one point this respect started to coming back to me. And I also now, after many years, when I go to Spain, I still visit my colleagues, or I'm in contact with some of the colleagues, and they say your project has really made an impact on our logistic flow. And I'm really surprised that I've done it. So I was me and myself there, me and my thoughts, me and my ideas. It was just me, a young woman wanted to have a successful path, and there I succeeded. For
But
me,
also your energy and the effort that you put in it, because maybe other persons would give up. but you just
Yes.
try to identify where were the blockers. You identified that language was a blocker, so you started to study and to learn Spanish. And you were lucky enough that it's quite easy for us, right, to study languages. And all of a sudden, the situation changed for you.
Exactly, exactly. So I was scheduled actually to have a six month project in Spain, and then the manager said, "No, you need to stay 3 months extra." And that was for me like a confirmation that all that I've done in these months,
Mm-hmm.
that's, So afterward, like the German colleagues were like, "Okay, who is this Laura? Because we know we pay her, we know her from paper, but who is she?" So they brought me to Germany. I stayed in 7 months in Germany, and then the Spanish plants called me back, said, "We need Laura back," and at one point I was back in Spain, and I was like, somehow you see that everything that I've done, and um, this is something that my mom showed me and learned me. Say, show respect. Leave always a hello or a goodbye in your vocabulary when you go away from a point, from a location, and this is what I've done in all my jobs. And
Mm-hmm.
I could really say that my first job, that was the one that I looked for, because I
Mm-hmm.
was needing a job after I finished university. So this job I looked for. But all the other ones, they came through recommendation through my colleagues, and it was every job that came was, like you said, it was on top of the other one, so
Mm-hmm.
I never had the feeling that I'm stepping back somehow. I never had this feeling, like I'm always moving forward. So
Yeah,
if
it's like a natural evolution
exactly within
of
the company,
scaling.
so
Mm-hmm.
that was for me a sign that I'm doing it right. So if I started on the level, on the plant level, then at the end I was working for the headquarters, even if I
Mm-hmm.
again in logistics or IT or whatever, but I was at the headquarters. And for Mercedes-Benz, I moved to powertrain. Like I was in cards group, yeah, so cards part of the group. um, and now I am in the headquarters. So somehow, like I said, it comes on top of it, and I'm proud of myself. It was
Yeah, you should be, and definitely, I think it's a nice inspiration for everyone. Like, just focus on what you want, on what you like, and see how you could evolve within the industry, within the field that you're working on, or the types of roles, job titles that you wish to go for.
exactly. And I had between through my years in working years, let's say, I attended also some classes, some courses. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe at that point I was thinking, okay, this does not really define me, or I don't think how this will help me in my project. But I know one is time management. So
Mm-hmm.
I was for 2 days in a course like time management. Like, okay, this is not so. It's easy
Wow,
to
and that's
manage,
so important.
your time, and I was like, no, 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 no. But you take the lessons learned, and it's nice to see that there are some things that I'm able to use or maybe adjust them to my needs. But there are a lot of courses that people could see that, not only because I'm working in a, to think that, okay, if I'm not working in an automotive group, then this course does not make sense for me. No, these are things that you can use. You would be surprised how many things you
Mm-hmm.
for you. So I also had leadership courses, because at one point I was also a logistic manager for a small production line in the German plant. Time management, very important, and I will redo it every time. Self-assessment, yeah, I think this is really,
Mm-hmm.
really nice. It was a really nice course, and I found the paper for a few weeks ago, and I was really it was really nice to see, also to self-assess you, like where are you now in this moment, or what can you do better to improve yourself personally and
Mm-hmm.
from the work life, um, and yeah, this have helped me balance a little bit, yeah. So There are days where I work a little bit more, and my husband has to step in, or I leave the kids longer to the daycare. But there are also days where I say, okay, I need to step down and focus on myself and on the household. So I really found the balance. So it's nice. I'm happy that I'm almost 38 years old. I have a good job. We have a house of our own. I am a married woman, happy woman, let's say. It's healthy kids, and yeah, I enjoy the moment. I really enjoy it, and I think this is my moment, and I really enjoy it at the fullest.
That's great. And yeah, once again, congratulations on your professional life, on your personal life. I think you are a role model on how to continue adding up and scaling up.
Yeah,
And yeah, thank you so much for everything that you've shared with us. I
thank you.
really like the main takeaways you mentioned, like time management, find the balance between professional and personal life, with specific examples from your own life.
Exactly.
And are there any other main takeaways you would like to share with the audience?
I mean, yes. I would like to add just maybe I repeat myself, but life is not easy.
Hmm.
I don't think for anybody it's easy, but you just have to. If you fell down, you just have to find the inner space, the inner strength. Sorry, rise yourself and say, okay, I can do this, or that I should do this because this is my path, and uh, maybe it's helpful for some people, like write down what did you do wrong and what you say what I can do better. So for me it's always helpful to make a visualization of the things, and that's why I write many things, and I have papers all over the house, where I write ideas or whatever, because I'm a visual. I want to visualize my plans. Respect yourself. Don't forget to respect yourself, because you have to work. Yeah, you need to work, because work is, yeah, paying us the life that we have, but um, put also yourself in the first place. If now you don't do exactly what you wanted to do, your time will come, your moment will come. Yeah, you just have to have faith, and it will come to you. Respect the others. uh,
Hmm.
Learn how to prioritize. I think this is one of the most important character topics in our world nowadays. Prioritize the work, prioritize the personal life, and try to just live the moment. Stress is not good.
Definitely. And thank you so much for such a nice close up of the interview.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for having me.
Laura. It was super nice talking to you. And yeah, let's see what the future brings us and
Okay.
also to the audience. So
Yes,
thank you so much.
thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye. I invite you to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and all other major platforms. Subscribe, but also share it with persons who might find it useful.